Again, this is the mailbag segment. If you got questions, put hashtag Lions in the comment section, hashtag whatever. You'll get featured on a video for Saturday. Right now, we're doing it right now, but go ahead and get that done. Also, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it. Hit the likes. Let's get the likes up to at least 100 by the end of this boy. Lisa DeLorenzo says, I don't think Mitchell makes the roster. Zylstra is better than Mitchell. I concur with you, Lisa. I do believe that Zylstra at this point is better than James Mitchell. Could James Mitchell get faster somehow? Probably not. So I'm with you. I think that he is going to be the guy. Jags fans called Hutchinson too skinny. Well, Jags fans clearly need some help if they think that is the reason. Yeah. Look, if you decided to not look at production on film like Raw Podcast or AG Spirit of Detroit Podcast does, you got to look at the film, folks. You got to do it. Film comes first, what they do in college. I'm not saying that every time that transitions, because it doesn't. Sometimes you can get maybe a player from like Davin or like a D3 school, right, where it may not transition. But when you're talking about high-level play, what Aidan did in Michigan, especially his final year, and you take a garbage, or not to say garbage, but you take a good edge instead of an elite, hey, is what it is, man. Is what it is. Yes, if you don't know, I am on 96.1 The Game, IR Radio, ESPN Radio, a huge show. I'm on there quite a bit. Go ahead and follow it or listen to it from 3 to 6 p.m., 96.1. If you're not in the area, thehugeshow.com. Question here, Sean Walsh. Hashtag Lions. Will the Lions re-sign Hutchinson during next season, or will they wait until next off season? They'll probably do it after this year. So after this season, the Detroit Lions is probably going to extend Aidan Hutchinson a year earlier, just like they did with Penei Sewell. Because look, Penei Sewell had that fifth-year option, and they're like, nah, we're just going to go ahead and lock him up. Aidan Hutchinson, he's going to have that fifth-year option, and you already know they're going to lock him up. He is the cornerstone of this team. He's going to get a mega deal after 2024/5 after this year. He's going to get a mega deal. And that's going to be a good thing for the Lions in the future of this team because we want to extend these players. Mike, calm my fears. I am terrified that Amon Ra gets hurt. We are toast. Let me calm your fears. Al Johns, first off, you lose St. Brown, it's going to hurt, right? But let me calm your fears. St. Brown missed games last year. We won. The Lions have a lot of offensive skilled players. And so if you lose a St. Brown, yes, it hurts, but you got a Sam Laporta, right? He is big-time target. You got Jamison Williams. You got David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. You can run the ball literally half the time, right? So half the plays, if St. Brown doesn't play, is going to be run anyways. And then you got Donovan Peoples-Jones and Khalif Raymond, who I actually like, but Sony Vaki as well. The Lions running back that they drafted in the fourth round this past season, I think is a theoretic type of player. So if you're to lose a St. Brown or a Jamison Williams or a offensive weapon, a Sam Laporta, we have other options that we can utilize. Yes, it's going to hurt that you lose your starter. It's always going to hurt. It's going to hurt for any team in the NFL. But for the Lions, they have so good depth, they can still continue. They can still play. And that's important about having not just good starters, but your whole 53-man roster's got to be good. Because there is going to be time that players get injured and they don't play. That's why you rely on depth. It's important to have depth. They say preseason doesn't matter. I call BS. I'm looking for players to make that final, the 7-8 spots on a football team. Because that 53rd player could be the difference between losing or winning a game. Like an Antoine Green. What if you're right? St. Brown gets injured. Antoine Green, I don't know, he puts up 50 yards in a game like that. That could be the difference between a winning and a losing. So, yeah, really, really, really important right there. Again, throw in the comment section your questions. Hashtag Lions, hashtag whatever, hashtag trade if you want to talk trades, whatever you think. Hashtag F Hey, Mike, do you think that we pick up a receiver, I think it's receiver, after preseason? 50-50 on this. They could. Robert Woods is a guy who I'm monitoring from the Houston Texans, 53-man roster, cut. If he gets cut, I think the Lions could pick him up or waived. But the problem is he could get picked up. If they were to waive him, he could definitely get picked up by another team. The Lions are going to be very bottom of the waiver wire because of their good record. But we don't know yet, even if, we don't know how the battle's going to do out for number 5 or 6 wide receiver right now. Could be Darius Fountain, could be Antoine Green, right? It could be somebody else. We don't know, so we got to let this battle play out. If no one really stands out, they could bring in a player like a Robert Woods if he gets released. If somebody is panning out, that's the whole draft process, right? You lose a guy in free agency, somebody else steps up whom you drafted in the last couple years, like an Antoine Green. So 50-50 right there. It can go either way. Hashtag Mike the GOAT. Heavyweights were taken the other day and talks about McNeill and the Lions are in talks an extension. Have you heard anything about that? I personally have not heard anything about that, but I do know that when it comes to Speakeasy and Spend More Racks, they do got some individuals in the Lions organization. So by hearing this right now, that puts a smile on my face. And I really hope they do lock up Alim Mcneill here shortly. I would love it, man. I think because when it comes to Alim Mcneill, and I want you guys to understand this, and I think that the Lions organization understands this, is if you sign a guy late, you're going to have to pay more. They signed St. Brown before these other receivers. Now St. Brown got pushed back when it comes to receivers. Same with Penei Sewell. I want them to. I think they don't. I truly hope I'm wrong. I'm going 51% no, 49% yes. And I hope I am wrong, and I hope they do extend him before, this season's over, right? Because I think he's going to have a monster year. You get DJ Reader in here, it's going to open it up for Alim Mcneill, who had 5 sacks last year, who was a good defensive tackle. Really good. And I would like the Lions to do that. I don't know. I keep hearing about Tre Smith, Bo Booth, that he is in the picture. Yet, everything that I have read or heard is nothing on him. That's why I don't talk about him. I have not heard a single word on this guy. As soon as we hear in training camp, maybe he steps up and does great. I hope so. That's what you want. But I personally haven't heard anything in OTAs or minicamp on him. That's just what I'm letting you know. Our secondary needs to step up pronto. It's do or die for Aaron Glenn. And I think he's going to do. He really did have, he made adjustments 3/4 of the way throughout the year last year. It was pivotal adjustments that pole vaulted Lions to the NFC Championship game. There's 2 moves that he made. He benched Jerry Jacobs. That was vital. Kindle Vildor comes in. He does a much better job. Ifutu Melifonwu steps up and becomes a dang near all-pro safety out of nowhere. And that is AG removing players, adding them, and also using their skill set. So he had Melifonwu blitz a lot, corner blitzes, right? He had corner and safety blitzes. And yes, some of the blitzes, it didn't work. But as you know, the pressure just wasn't there. We had no choice. And that adjustment, yes, the wide receivers in the opposing team was getting mad yards. But the defense played better, period. And now we have a massive upgrade in the secondary. They completely got rid of a lot of those players. Vildor is, instead of being a starter, is 5th, may not even make the team. So they completely revamped the secondary, much better. They get some players on the defensive line, like DJ Reader, who is better. We got a question mark with Marcus Davenport. We really don't know, right? If he's going to do it. We think that Hutchinson takes the next step, right? So I think with the better defensive line, the better secondary, AG is going to go up and will be a top 16 defense in the NFL. If the Lions are a top 16 defense in the NFL, to me, anything before 16, we're probably in a Super Bowl because that is our whole. So AG, you're right. He has to come out this year. There's no excuses. If we come out and our defense still in the 20s or in the 30s, every Lions fan is going to lose it. because we are in our window right now, and we just need the defense to step up. We have been asking since 2014. If they literally do not, if they do not get in the teens at least, he would be gone. So I think he's going to be successful. I think Aaron Glenn's going to do his job. I think he's going to be fine. It's going to be a year for him. That's all we wanted was those adjustments, and you're correct. We clamored for it. I've seen a lot of you guys in my live stream watch parties. We were just like, please make an adjustment. So I think another issue that's going to have for this Aaron Glenn defense that we don't really know yet is the mobile quarterback. That was the number one killer against the Lions defense last year. We were awful against the number one corner. We were awful against running quarterbacks. I don't know why I said number one quarterback. Running quarterbacks. We are awful. And if they can get better on that this year, again, this defense will take significant strides. Goes, I hope you're right. I'm not worried about the run defense. I wouldn't be either. We got torched in the secondary. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm with you, Foxboy. 27206. I'm right there with you. Everybody's with you. Right? That is secondary was the question mark. How are the new ones going to gel? How is this defense going to look? All of that. You're 100% correct when you say that. And you have a right to be concerned. Everyone has a right to be concerned. It's okay to be concerned. That is what you are as a fan. And you have the right to be concerned because there are some issues. I am concerned about Aaron Glenn because his defenses always start slow every year. I'll be looking for the defense to come out strong early. If not, count me in to think that we need to get rid of AG. Here's the thing why we have to be, I think we should be a little bit patient. If you look at our schedule, the beginning of the year, we're going against some tough offenses, okay? And so they're going to put up points, whether it's an AG defense or a Cleveland Brown defense, right? They're going to put up points. The Rams, they have a good offense, okay? You Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, right? They got a good offense over there, so they're going to put up points. We got to face the Seahawks. They got DK Metcalf. They get some points. The Dallas Cowboys early on in the season, I think we win the game, but there's a lot of offenses, so just don't crush them. If, say, the Rams put up 24 points on week 1. If the Lions, they do 28 to 24, I'm fine with that. If the Rams put up 30-some points, I'm with you. I'm getting angry, right? Well, we're talking about some big numbers that shouldn't be done. We got a super chat here, folks. It says, from Thomas Leach, $10 super Have a great day, Golans. Thank you so much, Thomas, for that super chat, and I truly do appreciate it. You are a real one. Again, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button.